All right, trying something totally new. Never done this before. Well, I take that back. I've done it once. Tried it out. We're gonna make our own soft plastics. I got everything to be able to do it here. This is the color that I was messing with here a little bit. Trying to make it kind of like a green pumpkin. Didn't really work out. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have the color. I just got these, and they work pretty well. But you don't have a lot of the colors that are for soft plastics. Like this enhanced moss. I don't know. And then I got like this bronze. A lot of these I did have to dilute, because they're just a little too thick. But we do have like some pinks, antique rose, and then we have a bubble gum. This is a bubble gum. I don't know. We'll see. See how it comes out. But you do have to stir your plastisol. This isn't actually plastisol. This is Bait Plastics. We're using the soft, and they do have different kinds. They have a soft, a medium, a hard, depending on what you're doing. So this is a two-part thing, from what I understand. There's an activator in it that when it hits a certain temperature, that's what causes the process for it to harden up and not be a liquid anymore. But until that happens, it'll stay a liquid, but you have to mix it. It does stay pretty runny. We did this a couple days ago to see how it would come out, trial and error kind of thing. Still kind of a trial and error kind of thing. So these are the molds that I have. I have two different ones. They are the Best NJ. This is just kind of this is a worm, 6-inch worm mold. And then I have this one. That is a 2.5-inch Ned Bug by the same company, Best NJ. And that's what that looks like. From the one time that I did use these molds actually worked really well. You didn't have to put any oil in them. I have watched videos on it. I haven't really seen anybody that touches base on that, but with these I have not had to add any oil as a releasing agent in order to get these to release. This is kind of what I'm working with here for a workstation. I just got these spring clamps from Home Depot. They work great holding these together. This is the injector that I have. This is 1.5 ounce, and then that is the company right there. It is Fat Fish. I bought all of this stuff on Amazon. These are all the different glitters. You can tell my wife found a basket for me to put that in. But there are tons of colors in here. Tons of different colors. These are all fine. I probably should have went with something a little heavier, but it works. Alright, this is a trial and error process here. First time for everything. So with this, the Bait Plastics, you do have to heat it up. I just use a microwave. It gets heated to about 350 degrees, and that's kind of what starts the process. And then this is what that little guy looks like. 2.5-inch Ned bug. Great for a trailer. Probably would have gotten a little bigger. But it works. It works. Alright, so with this, get you guys moved around here a little bit. I'm gonna do probably about 4 ounces. Alright, so like I was saying, probably gonna do, man, this thing is dirty. Let me get this wiped out real quick. Probably just gonna start off with 4 ounces. It doesn't take a lot to fill these molds. From what I have seen, they fill up really quickly. Let's see if I can make a mess here. That was actually pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Just gonna do a minute for now, and then we'll try to figure out what kind of color we want to do. I don't know what color. I'd like to try to do that watermelon. I actually have one over there that I could probably grab. See, this is the color that I would try to like to mimic. The only thing is I don't think it's going to be as translucent. And then just know that the more paste, the epoxy paint that you put in there, the faster it's going to set up. And that's one thing that I did know. I figured out the hard way. Is that the more color, the faster it sets up. It doesn't last as long as the clear. So like when we did these ones, this is just red glitter, and that's what it came out to. It was actually clear, and we just put a bunch of red glitter, and then that is the color that it came up with, is like that pink color. But yeah, the more color you put in it, the faster it'll set up, faster it'll harden. That's not quite there yet. Still a little clear, or not clear, still a little white. You want it, it'll turn color. It'll be a little more clear. So like you can see this now, how it still kind of looks like milk. Goodness. Go for another minute. The type of microwave you have will also determine how long you put it in. This is a small one. It's only like 700 watt. I found it on Marketplace for 20 bucks. But the higher the power of the microwave, 1000 watt, takes less time. So you'll just have to play with that and kind of just do it as you go. But yeah, other than that, it's fairly simple. You don't even have to oil this. You just pull the cap off, you know, and then, holy crap. Pull the cap off, clean out all your material, which I'll show you when we get to that point, once everything cools down. These do get hot, like pretty hot, so just be mindful of that. Alright, so you see how it's kind of more of that clear color? That's what you're looking for. That's what you want to see. can even check it just normal thermometer. You don't need anything special. Alright, that's about 300. Don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try some of this enhanced moss. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. It does take a little bit to mix in. Doesn't happen right away. It does kind of have like a translucent color to it. You can kind of see it. So I'm just trying to go for like that green pumpkin look. And then this stuff, if you have leftover material, you can reheat it too. You don't have to, don't have to waste it. It can all be reheated. Wow, that was a lot. That might have been way too much. Perfect. Definitely more of a brown, that's for sure. Definitely more of a brown. It probably looks different on the video than it does. Definitely more of a brown color. That looks like mashed peas. What did we do? I think we could maybe do a touch of black. Maybe that'll change it. That was a lot of black. Starting to set up on me. Might have to put it back in there for 30 seconds or so. Yeah, gonna have to put it back in there. Let it think about it. Alright, that's looking a little better after I added the black in there. Looking better. Looking better. I like that. Alright, let's go for it. We'll do the small one first. Doesn't take a whole lot. There, I was able to do both of those molds with one plunger. So we'll let those set up for a couple minutes, cool down, harden up, and then we'll pull them apart and see what they look like. All right, I moved you guys a little bit. So that way there we can see what's going on. I guess I could have just done this, huh? All right, here is the first one. They just come right out, just like that. All right, now here is comparison. It needs to be a little darker. That's what we just did. It's a little different, but that's all right. And then you just, all you can do it, you just pull them off like that. And then you're left with these. And then you could just take this piece and throw it right back in there. All right, let's see if this one turned out all right. No, it didn't. All right, so it got hard in the injector. Barely finished one. So we can take all of these and throw them in there. And then with your injector, take this piece off. It just twists, locks on, and then you're left with this. You just take it, just falls off. This is that little plug that was in there. That's all you got to do. But I'm going to heat this back up and see if I can't add more of something. Let's see what I can come up with. All right, so I was just cleaning out the injector like I was showing earlier. Now this is all just by guess. I haven't measured anything. I'm just squirting it in. This is what I was trying to mimic, color-wise. Now I know lighting is going to do a lot, but as far as just for squirting colors in, that's well, I added that purple, and it looks like they changed the color a little bit. It's a little more brown now. Not as green pumpkin as we were before. Which kind of stinks. Yep. It definitely made it more brown. Adding that glitter. Didn't change anything. Literally all I added was glitter. Well, crap. Oh, dang it. All right. How would we fix that? But what we shouldn't do is on a plastic table either. Trial and error, trial and error. You just never know what's going to happen when you add certain things. This one's still a little warm. Probably ought to let that one cool down for a minute. I wonder if I can add more green. Put that back in. 30 seconds. See where that gets us. And then we'll go from there. If it'll do anything for me or not. This has got to go in for longer anyway. Melt all this other stuff. Might have been what I needed. Little thunder. We'll go another 30 seconds. Alright, let's take this one out. Man, that is warm. These things hold heat for a hot minute. Yeah, see, more brown. Set that aside. I guess brown isn't bad. Depends on your water clarity. We are here in Florida, so we do have some pretty dark water. Oh yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that looks way better. Let's do our small mold. Just slowly push it in. We'll get a second one. Hope if I put it the right way. Man, these clamps work good. Oop. Little air. Hopefully we're able to push it through. Alright, I think that one filled up. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Golly. Wear some gloves doing this, because this is hot. Don't do what I do. I'm an idiot. Alright, we got to give those a little bit to cool down. See if it changed anything. Alright, I added a little more green. Try to get rid of that brown. So this is where we started. Added that purple glitter. This is where it got us. Added green. And it's so-so. It's a little more green. Almost. But not quite. It's better. It's all an experiment. That's all it is. It's just an experiment. Especially when you're not trying to do it to make money. You're just doing it to do it. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching.